Welcome to a different perspective where civil commentary is priority. Today is May 3rd, 2023. How's everybody doing? Hopefully everyone's doing fantastic. And today's topic of discussion is that controversial video with Steven Crowder. I'm going to give you my take, and you could just see all the videos that are being made, and you're probably thinking, what makes you any different? I hear you. I mean, I'm just going to try to be as objective as I can from somebody that's coming at this from the left. You could just see people that are just going to go ahead and give you their personal feelings about this. And does it look bad? Yes, it does. He does not look good. I'm not going to defend Crowder, but you'll be surprised with what I have to say. I'm going to keep it objective, keep it real. And so let's go ahead and, yeah. So full transparency, I am no fan of Steven Crowder. My personal feelings about the man is that he's a divisive dude that looks for topics that encourage outrage and more division in our country. And he's notorious for shying away from debates, unless you're a college kid. He loves to make time for owning college students via debates with his Change My Mind segments. Which, you know, they're hit and miss. There's probably some good Change My Mind segments out there, and I can't honestly say I've seen every one, but he's constantly talking about culture war topics that get on my nerves, and it really doesn't lead to meaningful solutions, in my opinion. So now that you have my biased take on Crowder's character, you might be surprised with my take via this leaked old video from 2021 in June. It's not a new video. And it's pretty convenient that, you know, it's coming out right now, and it appears to be doctored and edited too. So it's just smart to be conservative with our accusations until we get the full context, which Crowder apparently is going to put out pretty soon. So yeah, like I said, it seems mighty convenient for this video to be leaked now because a combination of him getting divorced, his financials, and his child custody are all motivating factors to build a narrative against Steven Crowder. And yes, this footage makes Crowder look really bad. So I just want to go ahead and re-emphasize, I am not trying to defend Steven Crowder. I'm just going to go ahead and put out some opinions that are objective to just give you my take of what we're about to see. So let's watch it and then discuss. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check this video out. So, okay, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to try my best to bleep out the F-bomb out there because I do not like putting profanity out there, so I kind of know where it's going to come. So if you hear the video go on mute, it's for that reason. So let's go ahead and check it out.
I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do rightful things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There are no groceries. I do have
steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first?
Okay, I don't know if you've noticed, but on the top of the footage, you see some green hedges because it's just me stretching out the time because this is going to indicate where this video is being doctored. You can see at 12:36, 36 minutes and 4 seconds. If you go, it's 12:35 with 22 seconds, and they have a really smooth transition from 35 minutes to 36 minutes with 3 seconds. So that's quite a chunk of time that's just been snipped out. So again, I'm not trying to defend Steven Crowder. He is acting, you know, very unreasonable with his pregnant wife that has had issues before in the past. I think she lost some kids before in a pregnancy, so you need to be extra careful. And if he's really concerned about his kids, why is he smoking in front of his pregnant wife? I mean, they are outside, and I don't smoke, so I'm really biased.
First. Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How do you man respect? How do you man receive love and respect? Respect. No. How do you man respect?
I just noticed something right now. He says, the other man you see. What? So, I know he recently put a video out there talking about how he didn't want to get divorced and all that. But it's a messy situation. When people get divorced, there's arguments from both sides. And this is something that a new detail I just discovered here with you guys. So the other man you see, the mother comes back. I mean, I don't know the context of that. And like I said, to be fair for both of them, we need to know a little bit more.
No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
You're not taking the car.
Steven,
You are not
then I
taking
will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not correct, Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my...
Okay, he's just ranting and rambling. He's looking extra bad. I mean, he's saying, I can't call my friends. What's stopping you from calling your friends? I don't understand why he would even use that as a legitimate complaint to just hound his wife, who's pregnant, by the way. And of course, she's going to get all the sympathy thrown at her, hearing him make unreasonable arguments so she can't get out of the house. I mean, apparently they need space. She needs to, de-escalate the situation because he doesn't seem very interested. He's just making up goofy comments to just make her feel bad. I don't know.
Friends, I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
See,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven.
You're making me feel like you do that. The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Steven.
There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
Hillary,
Steven?
you give up so easily.
I'm
I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your beast is sick.
All right, this is where the F-bomb's gonna come. So she's pretty much saying he's sick. So he's like, watch it. And then he says what he says. You can see that bad word. I just don't want to have that out there. We could go ahead and just, yeah. She wants to get space. Let's continue.
I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you.
Now, this goes to contrast of what he said in one of his videos that he says, I love my wife and all that. I love the mother of my children. And he's just blatantly saying, I don't love you. I mean, he loves the mother of his children. I mean, that's a weird way of saying he could just say, I love her. But let's go ahead and continue. I just thought that was a cool, detail to notice. It's not cool to say for him to say that, but just for us as observers.
Love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife, worthy. No.
All right. This is another part where there's a doctored or cut that seems to be made. At 38 minutes and 6 seconds to 38 minutes and 15 seconds. So 6 seconds, from 7 seconds to 15 seconds. So it just seems like what was said in that time. And remind yourself of where you heard this video being leaked to. I mean, for me, I don't know if that was the best way to say it, but for me, the people that are utilizing this footage in the most effective way possible are other conservatives, the Daily Wire.
Worthy of A wife worth? No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. As a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage anymore. I'm going to go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get
She
you
sounds really scripted too. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay what she has to deal with.
I love you.
But it's just like, she knows there's a camera there. I'm going to not engage. I love you. I'm committed to you. I mean,
are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not going to.
Are you committed enough to do those things?
To talk that way.
You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything.
People talk that way when they're in an
You
argument.
just said I love you. I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I mean, she's really disciplined in how she's engaging with them.
I'm going to just
walk the dogs, put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
So, I'm not going to go ahead and jump to conclusions, but as an objective observer, I've never really, seen Steven Crowder seem like a decent dude. I don't know if that's objective, but, when you put on a dress and you troll people and you just make a lot of divisive content, it just makes you look like a person that doesn't have values. That this doesn't surprise me. This is how he acts. And she married the guy. So it kind of makes me think, how are they both as individuals? Are they both decent people? And, now they're having an ugly, divorce. So I would like to say both have to do with what happened in this marriage. I mean, both people are at fault. But in this particular video, Crowder is in the wrong. He does not look good. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of curious about her character too. She married this guy. So, all right. So we'll go ahead and see the reaction. And like I had mentioned, the Daily Wire. They are, oh my goodness. I mean, that's what's surprising. I mean, everything's mega yikes with this video. Don't get me wrong. But that was not a good look. We can all agree. So now we're going to go hear from Candace Owens. Apparently there is some beef between these two, so let's watch.
So that is both heartbreaking and infuriating for me to watch. I cannot even comprehend how any man can speak to a woman like that, least of all when she is 8 months pregnant, and sadly that isn't the worst part of that correspondence. The journalist that dropped this video is Yashar Ali. He dropped this as well as a Substack entry accompanying it. On the Substack article, he wrote, "Moments later, off camera, Steven Crowder, by his own admission, would lose control and scream at his pregnant wife in a threatening tone, quote, 'I will f*** you up,' end quote, which led his wife to flee their home." She then sent a statement, which I want to be very clear. This statement I knew was going to come out. I didn't know any of this information. I had no idea there was a video or there was any evidence. I did know that their family was thinking about issuing a statement, and Hillary Crowder did issue a statement. And I'm going to read you that statement in its entirety because it's important. I think it reveals a lot of the lies that Steven has been telling publicly to his audiences. It reads, "Hillary is currently living alone in Dallas apart from her family and support system in Michigan and is focused on taking care of her young children. She is not prepared at this time to speak about her divorce becoming public or the misleading statements made by Steven about their relationship. The truth is that Hillary spent years hiding Steven's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work on their relationship to keep the marriage intact for their unborn child. In June of 2021, Steven left their home to pursue elective surgery." That's very important. I want you to remember that. I'm going to come back to that point. Hillary urged him to get the help he needed to address his abuse with the hope.
All right, let's go ahead and address some things that Candace is about to do. She said elective surgery. And she wants to get back to that. So let's understand what elective surgery is. And that's what it's in the statement, not cosmetic surgery. So she's going to go ahead and try to make it look like Steven Crowder's, exclusively doing it for the cosmetic factor. But elective surgeries can include cosmetic procedures like removing a mole or a wart, but they can also include more serious conditions like hernia surgery, removing kidney stones. I had to get that done, and that can lead to some really bad things happening if you don't have that elective surgery done, or removing an appendix or a hip replacement. Elective surgeries are pretty important to a patient's health and well-being. And Steven Crowder is not looking like he's doing a cosmetic surgery. Now, if he feels like he'll look better after the surgery, that's just, an extra perk. And I don't think he's ever claimed it to be life-threatening. And we're going to go ahead and see the footage that she's going to provide. But she's pushing narratives because she's not very genuine. So let's continue.
Hope that their marriage could be saved and they could peacefully live together as a family. Instead, Steven refused to do so and chose not to be with his wife during the birth of their twin children. After the birth, Steven bought a townhouse and left their home permanently. Hillary was not aware that Steven hired a divorce attorney and asked his assistant to cut Hillary off financially. There is significant documentation substantiating these facts. I want you to remember that portion as well, because that's another lie that Steven has told publicly. We hope
there's significant documentation, so let's see it.
That Steven will cease from speaking publicly about these personal matters in an untruthful manner. We also look forward to there being full transparency in the legal process so there is fairness and accountability for the actions that caused the divorce and to ensure the outcome is what is in the best interests of the young children. I would first like to go back to that portion where she says Steven left their home to pursue elective surgery.
Elective surgeries. Sorry, I had it on mute. So she's going to go ahead and this is what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and pay extra attention how she's going to put a spin on it.
Because I know exactly what surgery she's referring to, because during my first backstage here at Daily Wire, we actually prayed for Steven and this surgery. So before I show you.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this. This is the part that really made me think. I'm like, wow. I mean, the Daily Wire is banky, man. I mean, they have a nice setup. But what is the look that they're going for here when you're about to see what they're praying? I mean, it's crazy. I can't say with 100% certainty, but don't these folks at the Daily Wire rant about smoke-filled back rooms where the elites do their bidding in secrecy? I mean, so you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm referring to here with this continuation of Candace Owens.
Clip from us on Backstage. Here is Steven describing that surgery, and it certainly doesn't sound like it's elective. Take a listen.
I explained to you a little bit what it is. A lot of people say, why are you smoking? My heart is actually great, but my heart doesn't work great. And the reason my heart doesn't work great is, long story short.
Okay, well, this is Steven Crowder explaining the elective surgery, and he's not saying his life's in danger. So I'm not trying to defend Steven Crowder, I'm just being objective. And then they're going to show them praying for Steven Crowder.
Because of a connective tissue disorder I have, and my chest is caving in on my heart, so I've got about, I'm at a little more than half of the blood flow that you guys have, ventricular output from my heart. So it's a mechanical fix, and I don't know, maybe I'll feel like Lance Armstrong, like I'm on EPO after this, because I don't know what it's like to go through life with
he doesn't know.
Full blood flow. To me, I'm looking forward to it, not looking forward to the pain. Lance Armstrong, by the way, with the 3 balls, not the one. So yeah, it's overall a positive thing, and honestly, I've probably needed a little bit of rest. It comes in the form of having my chest cracked open.
Obviously, he had the surgery, and then his lung collapsed. And here is us praying for him, praying that he actually gets better.
For me.
Before we leave, I just have to, this one off the subject for a minute. Our pal, Steve Crowder, who makes the best passphrase in the country,
truly,
in the hospital fighting for his life, and he's really come close. He's come close to the dark edge of things. And I just want to say that crazy as he is, we love him, and we're thinking about him.
Crazy guy. We
hope
love
he
him.
makes it back.
You're a better man than I am.
Well, that's true.
I was actually just looking forward to the show being over so that I could text him and say, hope you don't make it, pal.
Actually, this is a real story. Last night I had to go for a drive because it's a long story, but I had to burn down gas to take my car into the shop. And so I was going to smoke a cigar, and I was going to say my nightly prayers. I thought, I should probably pray for Crowder, because he's in this. I thought, what's great? I'm going to light up one of the cigars that Crowder sent me.
Yeah.
And Crowder, this guy who's a complete maniac, he sent me these beautiful cigars.
Maybe I should pray for Crowder, who's a complete maniac. Like, how genuine do you have to be? I mean, I don't know. I can't even articulate a description for this whole conversation, this scene in this smoke-filled back room where they're discussing Steven Crowder with disdain, but yet they're like, well, we should pray for him. Oh, God.
Cigars, and I was like, oh, pal, I'm going to send you some cigars right away from my humidor. Haven't sent him a single thing, but that guy, he, really a generous fellow. And doesn't get enough credit.
I actually did text him and say that we were praying for him at great.
I don't know. This is just my take, but I got like the Thurston Howell kind of vibes from Michael Knowles. He's a genuine nice guy, but he's crazy. He's a maniac. Golly, these guys are crazy.
Risk our souls.
And if he dies, I personally will kill him. Right?
And yet, according to his wife, this was an elective surgery, really a cosmetic surgery, because Steven didn't like the way that his chest looked because he had a sunken chest. It was not something that was actually required to save his life. And yet we see that same pattern of behavior. Steven garnering a ton of affection and prayers from his followers purporting to be the victim, when in fact the facts don't line up with his narrative. The second portion that I'd like to point to is where it says Hillary was not aware that Steven hired a divorce attorney. This stands in stark contrast to what he told his followers when he said how hard divorce was and how difficult and horrific it had been and how he really didn't want it, and just, Texas is a no-fault divorce state. What is the truth here? I don't know. Obviously, right now we have his wife's word versus Steven's word, but given my personal experience with Steven, I am very much inclined to believe his wife. Now, I'd like to get into some other portions of this article, which I think are really important. The writer has a bunch of audio files and text messages.
Okay, I like how she's pulling the Alex Jones, like, I got all these papers with all these audio files and text messages in that expensive studio where she's at. Show them. If you have access to them, why are you talking about things that are hearsay? If you're going to bring it up, show it.
That were sent to him that he was able to review. He writes, in audio files and text messages that I reviewed, Steven Crowder admits to some of his faults, which include a volcanic temper, repeatedly and at times regretfully. But according to sources that I spoke to who are familiar with their relationship, Crowder's admissions often came after a sustained period of mental and emotional abuse, and he
Okay, we got Candace Owens reading off some papers and not showing. I'll go ahead and send a link to this full show of Candace just harping against Crowder. And Crowder actually is going to go ahead and respond to all this. So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. So let's go ahead and check that out. So let me go ahead and get this ready because he is not happy about all this. You can bet your, I don't know, bet something that's not of monetary value. All right, let's go ahead and get this going. Let's see. All right, it's giving me problems, of course. So let me go ahead and try that one more time. Okay.
I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the family, but also by court order agreed upon by all parties. Look, broken marriages are ugly, and in them people do ugly things. Myself, of course included, I would never claim otherwise. However, due to recent misleadingly edited leaks to the tabloid press without context and not subject to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is truth. So today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal record. Finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press, but if the privacy agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in full context next week. I commented on my ongoing divorce.
We got his response. So that'll be interesting. And this is a tweet from the 28th of April. So I don't know how that's turned out to be. I don't know if he's been talking about anything in specific in regards to his divorce. I haven't seen anything yet. But a lot of people are taking advantage of kicking Crowder while he's down. And it seems like the people that are more willing to pounce the hardest are fellow conservatives via the Daily Wire, especially Candace Owens. So let's wrap this up. My goal for this video is just to merely be objective with this recent controversy from the conservative world. And boy, did we get a front row seat to hypocrisy. I mean, insincere prayers and a smoke-filled backroom where big money, ego, and media, powerful media figures are just doing their bidding. So without, it is what it is. And I don't really respect either Crowder's platform, and I'm not really a big fan of the Daily Wire. The only person that I kind of value is Ben Shapiro, and he was quiet. He was just in the background the whole time, just listening to the conversation. But that's my take. Hopefully you enjoyed, and you guys have a good one.